Greeting, happy hashtag campers. I'm Robin from the Open House. I'm sure you know me. Recently I've just been helping Liz do a little animation for her channel, so I'm very proud of the results. Go and check her out and have a look, see what you think. Let me know. There was something that she was actually pointing out while we were actually helping her out with her animation. It was interesting to me to listen to over and over again while we were getting it fixed. And she was pointing out something of introspection. And that is something that I would like to actually talk about when it comes to the skeptic community at large. We can always fall within some sort of party line. It's interesting. I wouldn't say necessarily an objection, but the idea that I'm trying to proffer is that just because the enemy hates it doesn't make it right. It is somewhat of a generalization. I'm going to call you out now, Sargon. Sargon once said, for example, of Trump, that he couldn't necessarily support pretty much any of his policies, but he felt as if he was annoying or pissing off the right people. This seems to be, for me, I can only describe it as political kamikaze. Suicide, if you will, but at least it takes a few of them with you. It seems like we now are living in a world, maybe I'm kidding myself, and we always have lived in a world where politics is bred through hatred of the other, hatred of the opposition, our fear of the opposition. And this does not necessarily lead to any decent discourse. I've certainly never seen that in the news leading to any decent discourse. It generally just ends up with basically two sides throwing crap at each other without anything actually being done. And I would hate to see that to happen to, say, the YouTube community, although I'm seeing it at the moment. I'm not going to name too many names, but I will name those who have come a cropper from this. Vernaculus, for example, who, was probably taken aback by people in opposition to him talking about sort of trannies in toilets. Also, TLDR, who basically just wanted to say, hang on a second, guys. There is something to be said for the difference between pornage videos and intellectual rigor. Sargon's come a cropper from this, even Top Hats and Champagne. So this isn't something that is just not happening. Me, I come from sort of earlier stock with the Gamergate community, for example. I'm one of the earlier members there and started up the Open House and have tried my very best to facilitate discourse between both sides. And it has been a struggle. And one of the things that I certainly found out very, very easily is that, as they say, there are two sides to every coin. And it is somewhat of a dirty coin on both sides sometimes. Needs a bit of a polish. So I'm going to reiterate this message really from Liz, is that skepticism, for example, the word really leads with doubt, not self-assurance. And if you are going to consider yourself to be a skeptic, just remember that. Have that in the back of your mind. Am I right here? Am I absolutely right here? Let the golden rule take over you a little and think, how would I feel as if it was coming to me? And let me just once again reiterate, just because the enemy doesn't like it, that doesn't make it right. Thanks for listening. I would like to issue this challenge, let's say, to TLDR, Vernaculus, Top Hats and Champagne, maybe Sargon. Give us your responses to this, and maybe if you can give us your take on this, if there are regrets that you may have come across of this yourself, or you've seen this within certain circles and you'd like to point that out. Let's see if we can do this, guys, because we are we've had a great time with this message to feminists, but can we actually have, or at least if we are offering the chance for feminism to have that self-reflection, can we at least afford it to ourselves? So that's my message on this. Thanks for listening, guys. Take it easy.